Hey everybody, it's Scott O'Mato back for episode 15 of my Thaumcraft 1 Let's Play. Guys, of course I did stuff between episodes again. Got quite a bit done, and I'll show you some of it. One thing is it snowed in between episodes as well, so this is natural snow then that's laid on, so that looks pretty nice along with the snow that I put. It would look weird if it was just natural snow right here and no snow along there, so that's also one of the reasons to put in the fake snow. Keep in mind that's the magic slabs, snow slabs, so they're cool. All right, so that's cool. I also did some tests to see, this is a cover from Red Power. I wanted to see if it gathered snow, and it doesn't, so this is a moss stone cover. Now these moss stone bricks are underneath the overhang, so they're not going to get snow anyway, but you know, I just wanted to test that to do some outside stuff. So basically I've got this guy filled up for the most part. It's mostly full. It looks like it takes like 3 crucibles or so. I want to, in some future episodes, we're going to start really measuring stuff, because that's part of the fun of Thaumcraft here. Is that you don't know like what some of the values are and things. So you know, you have this V detector so we can read stuff to figure it out. But in this episode we're going to create Thaumium, all right, and we're going to do some setups for our portals on the other side, so our portals open there. But let's start off by creating some Thaumium. All right, we haven't done that yet, and it's easy to do. Basically it's iron and V crystals in the infuser here. All right, so I have that in my inventory. I'm just going to go ahead and produce quite a bit of it. So I believe the V crystals go on the bottom, the iron on the top. Yeah, so it'll go through and create Thaumium, and of course we'll want to add back to this network so that we're sure that that's actually moving quite fast. Not that. But we want to be sure that we have enough in for our portal transfers, and we're going to take care of some of that in this episode. Well, I haven't seen it move that fast. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that this... I guess it just has to do with how fast it's crafting something. Okay, so there's 32. That's a good start. We may produce some on the other side, but that'll give us some iron or some armor and some tools, all right? Because with this, of course, you could go through and produce... this is a talisman core, we'll do that later, but the helm and the chest plate, leggings, all that kind of stuff, and then the 7 league boots and stuff as we get into that, we'll do that upcoming, and then your regular suite of tools, and they're highly enchantable. All right, around as enchantable as gold, but they have the mining speed and stuff of diamond, so they're good tools. And they were originally named... I'm trying to think of the word. I shouldn't probably mention that because I can't think of the word, but it's like something real weird. I'll think of it in a moment. But anyway, we're going to yeah, just go ahead and produce some armor and stuff from that. I also have an armor stand from the armor stand mod, which is just 3 stone and 2 sticks. But yeah, let's go ahead and in here make sure our stuff's available. So here's the helm. Here is the chest plate and the leggings. I think it was Oraculum. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it was. That Thaumium was named Oraculum, something like that, in a previous version. And of course, this mod, Thaumcraft, was considered to be potentially named Arcanacraft, if you didn't know that. So let's get some sticks and stuff for our tools. I don't think I have that many on me, actually. Let's go ahead and make some sticks. Yeah, let's get a few. Get our supply up a bit. Now we should see the Thaumium weapons. These are still obsidian stuff. Yeah, so let's just make a sword. And a pick for now. I have 6 ingots, so I could make more. Let's see, sword, pick. What else would I want? Shovel, I guess. Axe. Yeah, let's just make the axe, because I'll make more of them alongside, and then we'll do some enchanting on the other side. But I want to show you the armor. So we'll do the armor stand. It's pretty cool. If you've never seen it before, I'll just do it like right here. Let's put it down right there. Yeah, it's 2 spaces in between them, so that kind of sucks. But basically you right click on it and then you put your armor inside of it. All right, and I'm not sure that the order matters. But then this last slot is for, there's the armor. All right, looks pretty cool. Then of course this texture pack changes it too. But the last slot is for the texture of the stand. All right, so I want to get obsidian here. I had some in my inventory already. So let's get that. And so I can put obsidian in here. That'll change the stand. Now you can also choose a skin. It could just be black, a zombie, a player, which would be your normal Mojang skin. But I have a special skin in here that is replacing the char.png. So I'll use that. And then you can choose Stalker Mode. All right. So if I move around, it's going to follow me. That's pretty cool. So it's going to watch me all the time. Let's just take off a little bit of the armor just so you can see the head. You can see the stand changed. So yeah, there's my regular skin. So I'm watching me type thing. So that's pretty cool. We'll take it with us and enchant it. I got 129 levels, so that'll get us a couple enchants at least. And I'll just leave that stuff in there for right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to the other side, to our main base. Okay, boom. This is the enchantment room, or the portal room. I've got it decorated out. Oh, that's nice. I don't think I'm gonna, if it's R to reload chunks in this one, might not have it. Let me log out and log back in. One thing I have noticed is that that happens more so if you have this setting in Optifine that's advanced OpenGL fast, but this does improve your frame rates quite a bit. It's only showing the visible geometry, but you're going to get more chunk errors with that. So I've noticed that. So you could kind of compromise how you want to do it. It's not that big of a deal. Just log out, log back in. There may be a key F3 command, but I don't know about it in this version. So anyway, I've got our various portals set up in here. Just a black ceiling. I've got a node network that will run through here. So I carved out a room back behind our main area here, where our bee storage is, or where we're doing some production. And I have a space here and then a space above where we're going to run the conduits and all that. All right, so it's black just so that, you know, it looks good from down below. All right, now, so let's go ahead and do some enchanting real quick, and then we'll look into some of the potential setup that I want to do. All right, so let's see what we get. Hopefully we get good stuff. Again, it's supposed to be as enchantable as gold is. So let's take a look. Let's just try helm first. Okay, and that got us respiration and protection 4. Okay, so what we've got on our iron armor. All right, and this one we got protection 4. Okay, that's pretty much I think what we'll get from this. That's the highest enchant for armor there. So we're down to 54 levels. So I don't know if I'll do boots yet. Let's try a sword and see what we get on the sword. Yeah, sharpness 5, knockback 2, looting 3. Excellent. So yeah, that's an upgrade from this one. I don't know if it's quite as powerful. We'll test it certainly, but that's an awesome sword. Actually, I think that's the best enchants you can get. If you got smite, I don't think you could have knockback. I don't know. Smite is not really that useful, but we might as well go ahead and replace our armor that we have, and then I'll make an extra set just for the stand. But let's see, I've been storing armor. Now that I'll store it in here for now, but now that I have the armor stand, we'll probably display it. Certainly will display it. Actually, I think I will. I'm going to just carry it in my bag and we'll display it. Let me get it out, and I'll just keep it in the bag for right now. It'll repair as well. It needs repaired. And these tools can be repaired, I believe, with the Talisman of Repair. So, all right. Good. Let's put on our armor. It's a manual thing. Can't just shift click it in like you do. And look at the helmet. It's kind of like a helmet. I mean, it's got like a strap and stuff on it. Pretty wild. Let's look. Yeah, it's got like a strap around your head, so that's very different and interesting. Glowing eyes. Yes. Pretty cool. All right, so another thing that now that we produce Thaumium, which I'm going to actually make a little bit more here on this side, is because I have more V crystals, and I have a bunch of V crystals out there. I'll need to go and get those. That's been passively generating. So let's make a little bit more Thaumium here. I mean 14, whatever, it doesn't matter. And should have, oh, it's V crystal, sorry, the opposite way. V crystals at the bottom. So yeah, we'll go ahead and let that produce as long as our V holds out. And then I've got more here. And then we'll do more enchants. And I can do one more enchant, actually. I'll go ahead and do the pickaxe. Okay. Efficiency 4 and Fortune 3. All right, so no unbreaking on that, but that's decent. Fortune 3, we'll see if it works, because it may just be different in this version of what I'm used to. Okay, so there's more Thaumium ingots, because another thing we're going to want to do is upgrade our crucibles to the next highest level of crucible, which is the Thalmium Crucible, and that is the highest. So we need 2 of the solidified Vs and 4 Thaumium ingots and a crucible of eyes. So, you know, you go from the V crucible, and the crucible of eyes requires the V crucible and then a seeing eye symbol and all that. And then this guy requires that crucible of eyes. So I have that stuff on me. Should be able to get it. Let's see. Right here. Okay, so there's the Thaumium Crucible. Now the thing about this guy is you remember that the Crucible of Eyes will send out a redstone signal when it's filled. This guy will do that too, but it will also not take in any more items. So although that was sending out redstone signal, like let's say a setup back here, I have it here, and it would send out a redstone signal. If I wasn't handling that redstone signal, it would still take more items in to here. So this guy will prevent that, but as I mentioned before, you got to keep in mind that you have to keep these separated, if like the infuser, for instance, with a conduit, because when this thing's powered with redstone, it's going to turn this off. So you wouldn't be able to dump the redstone. So you have to, balance your setups that way. But we're going to do a kind of remote setup here that will allow us to move the Thaumium or preload the system in here. Okay, basically. So we're going to do kind of an interesting setup. Actually, it's not right there. It's right. Yeah, here will be fine. And then we'll do a dispenser. All right, so keep in mind we've been using the solidified V. So I have a few items made. I have some of the wireless transmitters, and then I have a remote somewhere right here. Okay, we'll put up the sticks later. And I have a dispenser made. Okay, I've sorted my inventory, so now I got to figure out what I had ready for this episode. I have 2 iron symbols. I have stone transport pipes, obsidian transport pipes. Okay, and I'll show you why. And I believe that's it. Yeah. Okay, that should be what we need for the setup. Then you do have an extra bow, because you use bow in the crafting of the dispenser, which has always been very annoying. But we'll work with that. So all right, the dispenser we're going to want to fill with this solidified V. All right, so the dispenser, you know, it's face away from where you want it to go. Can't go up and down in this version, and it's kind of hard to put items on it, but we'll work with some of that stuff later. And we're going to put solidified V inside of that. 10 of them's fine to start. All right, and it'll, whenever we trigger it by redstone, then it will fill here. So for redstone, we're going to use one of the wireless transmitters, or receivers in this case. So we're going to put down a receiver here, and the recipe for that is just iron and redstone with a lever in the middle. All right, there we go. And so we connect that, and then you can click on it to get a GUI, and it'll tell you what frequency it is. I'll leave that at 0 for right now, and then you could set it. Now, that's one thing about this texture pack, is it always puts these crosses, so it kind of messes up some of the GUIs. That's not that big of a deal, though. All right, so this guy now, whenever we click it, because it will be assigned to frequency 0, of course, we can change it here to whatever we want with the buttons. But I can pulse it, and so it'll click that dispenser to fill this guy, which is really cool. All right, now if I click again, it'll fill it again. Now we're at 80%, right? All right, once again, click. All right, now it'll go, it'll actually waste that one. All right, you have to be aware of that, because it can only use 80%. It'll only fill 80%, but this guy will stop it from doing that. But when it's filled like this, all right, so I used 3, so that one, it actually used only a bit of it, so that's something you got to watch. But if I click again, then it won't put it in there. See, it's floating inside of there. Now, it's pretty hard to get out. Can't really get it out too easy, right? There's no way it'll, like if I go above it, it'll hurt me. See, I can't really get it out of there. So that's a thing. So we're going to make a neat little setup here using the iron pipes. I'm going to use obsidian, I suppose. If I didn't mention, yeah, the Thaumium will do obsidian as well. I'm going to need to move this torch for a moment. So we'll put it above it is what we're going to do, like such. The iron symbol, remember, it pulls items toward it when it has V. So let's put that down, and you can put it on any side of the block facing it. All right, it's pulling it, and it's pulling V from over here, I guess, from the node back behind this wall. But it's not actually pulling it out. All right, that's the thing. So what we want to do is we want to place another symbol. I guess I'll use obsidian's fine. Put it right here. Okay, so these two will work in combination with each other. All right, and it should, at least in my testing, pull it out. Oh, the problem is that you have to put in a gold rune. I forgot about that, guys. I forgot about that. You got to put a gold rune in so that it works on the vertical axis. Right now, it's only working on the horizontal axis. Yeah, it's only pulling horizontally. So we need to make a rune real quick. Let's see if I got some nuggets. I've got 5, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's make a horizontal rune, or a rune, gold rune. Yeah. All right, so blank rune, piece of gold. That'll get us that. And here should have enough V. Yeah. All right, gold rune here. Yeah, that alters it to pull vertically as well. All right. And you'll see why I do that other horizontal one, because there's a cool little trick that I figured out. And that's the fun thing about these symbols, is that you could move stuff in interesting ways if you just work with it. All right, so if I put the gold rune in here, now it does it. All right, let's watch that again. If I try to throw this guy in here, see, it pushes it up and over to there, and then it's kind of bouncing back and forth. It finally captured it and held it here. All right, so what we want to do is we want to take one of the obsidian transport pipes from Buildcraft, which will pull items into itself, okay? But first let's set up the stone so we have a place to go. So we need to put a stone. The stone will inject into inventories. All right, and we'll put another one here, and then we'll put the obsidian pipe on top of that. All right, so now what will happen is that it'll force it into the obsidian pipe. As soon as we do that, boom, and it'll go right back. Well, okay, there you go. It'll work when it's in this system. All right, throwing it got redirected, but see, it places it inside of here. So let's watch it do it. All right, if I trigger again. Dude, you're making me look bad here. See, creative stuff sometimes works differently. That's okay. I'm just going to right now cover it up. You know, make sure that it has a location that it can only go in that direction. Let's put it back in here. But that's the fun thing about automation, is that, you know, you got to try to work out the problems with it, and there's always some kind of problems. There you go. That you'll have. So we should be able to, and I'm using durability on this, but that's cool. See, it just pulls it up to there. This one pulls it over, so it makes like a curve loop and goes into the obsidian pipe. Now I may want to put something behind here just to block it as well. I can use covers. Maybe it'll make it look nicer. But you know, this would guarantee that it goes in that direction. So that'll be pretty cool. And what the idea is that we'll keep the network filled remotely, you know, if we want to, because this is our main portal room. Put a torch right there for now. This is our main portal room where all our portals will be run from. Now I've been using this portable node, which is pretty decent. We're going to want to go through and actually measure how much is used in every single one of these operations. You know, like when I travel back and forth, how much V is it using? Then I've got another idea for a system based on that. But this would just be our main production area, and as long as we keep sufficient amount of solidified V in here, which we are producing, we can produce out there. I've still got quite a lot of it. And then of course in between I'll clean this up to be nicer looking and all that. And I think this is cool. This painting is really interesting. It works well. So I just have some basic crafting, some storage here, you know, just our normal stuff that we use, lights above. And then there's a V node above here. So I'll need to tie in to the network. So actually the conduits would serve as a block, I suppose. So I could put the conduits above and then, you know, feed it over to here where I've got it ready. Anyway, pretty neat setup, guys. I think I'm happy with the look of this room. We'll put signs on that labels every one of them. I had more signs. I don't know what I did with them. But we also want to do some tests. So in the next episode, we're going to do some, and in between episodes, I'm going to start doing some measurements to see this, and we'll just use one portal to go to the other so we can measure how much is being used. So that's why I'm not really wanting to hook this up to the main network yet, because we want to use portable nodes or just maybe another one of these crucibles to do our measurements with. Now you can see that V's flowing from the portable node, interestingly enough. So it's actually feeding these guys from the portable node right now. So you got to keep in mind that kind of stuff, that, you know, if you're counting on a certain amount of V being here when you travel back and forth, then, you know, you need to be aware of what other around is using it. But we'll have our own little network for it up there. Anyway, so let's go back. What was that? What was that? What just happened? I have doubt. That was really interesting. What It's like it traveled along the path of the V. Or you lagged back to where you were or something? I got teleported right here. Cool. Well, that'll be something to play with to try to figure out. Now, see, our V's kind of getting a little low here. Few transfers back and forth, and we'll have used it up. I'm going to go ahead and let's look at the V detector here and see how much we have. It's in here. Yeah, this is a cool little tool, and like I say, if you use it as research, so we have 80. Let's go. That was so weird. Let's say now these are drawing from this network, so we're still good on that. Although we produced some Thaumium, I did fill it back up. There is kind of cooldown. I'll show you on the other side. See, there's kind of a cooldown where it has to recharge. So that was 80 V before we went. Now we have 55. So what's that? That's 25. I guess it used 25. That's interesting. So we'll have to keep in mind how that works. Of course, we took a trip and we came back. So it's probably 2. Yeah. Anyway, we'll do some more concise and better measurements. I'm hearing a magical chunk for that, if you can hear the beeping. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I think that's a pretty simple and cool little setup, using kind of some of the properties of how these things can work together, and maybe we'll do more complex stuff with that. And I've got my new Thaumium armor and some pretty good tools from it. I'll test out the fortune on that guy, because I mean, I just may not really, they may have improved fortune a lot more in later versions. I don't really remember. Anyway, that's going to be it. This is Scott O'Mato. Take care. Bye, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.